Start. Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Clash in Italy. Literally gone off the air, 10 minutes ago. So, what better? As look, it's Clash in Italy. It's a great time over for us in the UK-ish anyway to do it. But as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, you see two familiar faces that have joined me. It is David and Will. Gentlemen, good. I can say good evening to both of you because it is. Good evening,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah. Hello, mate. Thank you for having us on again.
No problem at all. So the difference in this one, guys, is Will is actually in the UK and David is in America. So we're now sort of it's up past in Will's terms it's 10 about 5 past 10 over here at time of recording. But gentlemen, look, Clash in Italy has finished. David, we were talking before we got onto this, and we were both saying that after watching Double or Nothing, to come on to this it was like not saying chalk and cheese as such, but you can tell that perhaps AEW guys have the more creative freedom maybe in the ring than what WWE guys do.
Yeah.
Oh, most
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, since
Uh,
watching nothing, it's just as David and you say, it's hard to actually go back and watch like another PPV because it was so incredible. Double or Nothing had everything in it, everything you can want for a wrestling event, it had it. And to go to Clash, which is supposed to be quite a huge event, it didn't even come close to the mark. I don't think.
Even for last night, like if you watched AAA last night,
Yeah.
like, the main event of that, I honestly think, even though I love Double or Nothing, the main event last night was probably match of the year so
Oh, it
far for
was.
me.
It was
Yeah.
incredible.
It was unreal. The build up, phenomenal. Everything they did, and they didn't have repeat matches every week. It was just everything about it was incredible. And like you've got Double or Nothing, then you've got that, and then you've got WWE's one. I'm like, oh, oh,
So underwhelming.
Yeah.
yeah.
I tell you what I did like though, the arena. I love the stairs from each corner was really just it was just something a bit different that I liked about it. The stage was nice, but that do you remind me? Do you remember? I don't know if you guys ever saw it. The first ever Nitro. It was in like a shopping mall.
No, I never saw that, but that sounds sick.
It was literally in a shopping mall. Like you could just imagine, like walking out of like I don't know. I suppose in the UK, walking out of Primark and all of a sudden bumping into Jey Uso in the lift or something coming down. But it was a unique setting. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on to the card. And we opened up with Cody and Gunther. And Will, this one for me, it was just getting entertaining and then the finish come out of nowhere. Now
Mhm.
I had to explain to someone on Facebook why everyone was kicking off about it because she wasn't aware that the foot under the rope that Gunther had is a break. Nobody saw it. The camera angle was all over the place. Obviously, we're going to get a rematch between the two, but do you think, Will, that finish was just a little underwhelming because we was just getting ready, sort of getting into the nitty gritty of the match at this point?
Yeah, I really do. And I think that seems to be like a regular thing with the WWE events at the moment. Like it gets to that point where it's getting exciting. We're getting into the match. It seems like everything's kicking off, and then someone will put out a finisher and it's done. And it's like, oh, well, that's that, isn't it? I think with like the sort of AEW events and stuff, it builds and it builds and it builds and it keeps going, sort of thing. You don't really know when it's going to end, which is what I'm really like at the moment. But that just felt so underwhelming. And I get the whole. Well, actually, I don't know. The foot under the rope. I'm not sure if many people did know if that was supposed to happen or not. It looked a bit, I don't know, a bit sketchy, didn't it?
I was
Yeah.
literally saying it before we started about how I'd literally said, "Oh, it's building up. This is getting." Then it just ended. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, it's always that way. It always seems to be that way in WWE at the moment. It just gets to that point of where it really is getting good and it just goes flat.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was called. I said to David before we start. I actually saw Gunther reposition after taking Crossroads, and I was like, "Foot's going on the ropes here." And perhaps David, the foot on the ropes might have been a bit of a better one, and maybe people would have understood it more than the foot under the ring.
well, it was like even like from watching at home, I thought he was going to grab it. I saw the ropes move because obviously he knocked his foot on the
Hmm.
ropes and everything. But I thought he'd gone to grab it, and the whole like camera angle, the way it was done, I don't know. It was. It also feels weird because it happened twice tonight, where you've got someone who's built up as a monster,
Yeah.
and then you've gone and had them lose, and I'm like, even though this was like he shouldn't have lost and all that, it's still. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know about it. It it kind of ruins it for me because you've had him obviously retire AJ,
Mhm.
retire Cena, he beat Seth, and then he's lost because the ref didn't see something. Is like I don't
Mm.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think with the character they've built up, I don't think he should have been in that position anyway, where he's trying to kick out with a rope break. He should just be trying to like show what a monster he is, honestly. So I don't know. Booking felt weird. Booking felt
Yeah.
very.
It did, but Cody did pick up the victory, as we said, and I'm sure there will be some ramifications this week on SmackDown because Cody's SmackDown champion, yeah, on SmackDown. So we'll see that. Um, we move on to the women's match. David, I'll come to you first. The first of two women's matches, probably to be honest, in terms of like, if you were rating these matches, maybe the two women's matches may have been the best matches
Yeah.
on the show. Rhea and Jade was the first one on this. I always get concerned with Jade. And I spoke about this with one of my co-hosts, David, probably about 12 months ago. And I was kind of like, we are at a point with Jade where something's got to start clicking because it always felt clunky and it always felt like a move would go a little bit awry. It's something, but apart from her lazy kickouts tonight, which I felt was just like a little tap on the arm to break the hold, I felt that this was probably Jade's best match in the WWE.
Well, at Mania, I didn't think it was a bad match. I thought it was
No,
a better one. I don't think it helped that before that she was booked for like minute matches and it was always the same people just jobbing to her. But I thought Mania was good, and I thought today was better. I
mm,
genuinely thought Rhea and Jade was probably the best tonight, personally. Except for the botch at the end from BFAB, but that's not really on them.
no.
Yeah.
But there were some moves like when Jade bounced Rhea off the ropes and kicked her in the face. Me and Will were both like, Jesus
Yeah, that was
Christ.
great. Yeah, it was really.
There were some really cool moments in it. I know they went for the reversal of the was it Riptide that they did at Mania? They did a reversal that was the same as the one
Mm.
before, but then they added the DDT to it, which I thought was cool because I was like, oh, they're doing this again. And then they added another thing, and I thought that was pretty cool, like the whole sequence. Um, yeah, I thought it was the best match tonight, honestly. I just didn't
Yeah.
like BFAB not able to grab a foot.
Does seem a bit silly on that one. They did do another one, Will, as well, when they went over the top rope together, a bit like the old Royal Rumble way. And I think Rhea took a bit of a nasty bump onto the hardest part of the ring there. But Will, just touching on Jade a bit, because she obviously never went to NXT. When she first come in, there was always this big thing, where's she going to go, where's she going to go, where's she going to go? And she ended up going to the main roster. In hindsight, and now thinking about it and where we are now with her, do you think perhaps even just a 6 month run in NXT might have done her a bit better than just going straight up to the main roster?
Yeah, I generally think it would have done us some good, to be honest. Because, like you say, there's some things Jade does where it just looks a bit iffy and a bit, not that well executed. And as David said, she come on, she did her squash matches for what felt like a whole year. And I think tonight is the first time we've really got to see her sort of actually perform in the ring for longer than 5 minutes, which she didn't do bad at all. I thought she was quite good, but I definitely think there's a lot she could have touched up on and sort of perfected by just having even like you say like a 6 month stint in NXT. I think it really would have done her wonders. And the pushing off thing, I couldn't tell if that was like part of a whole new gimmick thing or if she was just being like lazy with it. But it did look a bit strange, didn't it?
Mm.
I don't know if personally NXT would help her or make her worse. Because I definitely feel like when people are in NXT now and they come up, like all the call ups recently, I think Ethan Page is coming across well.
Yeah.
Mm,
I, I don't think Ricky's looking good.
no,
So,
you're not.
Soul's clunky and still trying to like. I think if she'd gone to NXT, I don't know if she ever would have honestly got called up.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah,
good
that's an
show.
interesting one. Yeah. Well, you look at even Jordan Grace went down there, and Jordan Grace is an amazing wrestler. And people question that them going Jordan Grace going down to NXT. So I don't know. It's a weird one, but in fairness, what I would like to say is she's had two great matches, but with probably one of the best women, maybe
Yeah.
not just in WWE in the world, really, in Rhea Ripley. So her against somebody else, we may be having a different conversation.
I think her against Jordan Grace was good because they did that, didn't
Yes.
they, on a
Yeah.
SmackDown? And I thought that was really good. I think they should have given Jordan the belt at that point. But yeah, I think it depends. The problem is she was fighting BFAB a lot, and we saw what happened to BFAB tonight. So that's probably not the greatest to prepare a champion.
No, 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 definitely not. But Rhea did pick up the victory with the aforementioned Riptide Charlotte Flair with the assist. She did get the foot right on the rope during during that one. B-Fab and Meechin got caught out and kicked out for doing that. I think the referee just kicked it out just for stupidness more than anything else for not finding the foot on the rope. But we move on. Probably to the most, in a lot of ways, I've seen positives slash negatives on this one. We'll come to you first. Brock Lesnar
Mm,
over Femi 2, the rematch. Probably the best part was the crowd humming Lesnar's music on the
yeah.
way out, which I thought was absolutely tremendous. He starts in barrage of F5s, five to be precise, right at the start, off the gate. Altogether, he hit seven, and
Mhm.
he had the Kimura lock in. Obafemi did look like a monster, but
Yeah.
will we have this thing with the WWE, and we've seen it so many times. Rusev was unbeaten. He lost his first one against maybe someone that he shouldn't have done. He went to shit. We've had it with a couple of other wrestlers in the past where they've been this dominant. The Fiend maybe is another prime
Oscar,
example.
Oscar was
Asuka,
Yeah.
she lost to Ric Flair. Are we in danger here, Will, of this history just repeating itself with Obafemi at this point?
I think so, yeah. Like me and David have said for a couple of weeks now, it feels like I think they built him up a little too quick, sort of
Yeah.
thing. And now it's got to that point where he had the first match with Brock, and it was great. That first match was brilliant. I think they couldn't have executed it better. But to have the rematch and have him lose, just it's just kind of a where do you go from here now? Like what happens? Do they have another rematch at SummerSlam? Then what happens from there? It's just I don't. I love Oba. I think he's great. He's really good in the ring, and he brings a lot of hype. But what do they do with him now? Where
yeah.
go from here after Brock's defeated him in quite a brutal way?
The problem is they've booked themselves into a corner again, which they always do. And it's like we were saying when Will was here, if they'd built Royce Keys up more and he hadn't been like, because
Mhm.
Tamatonga didn't make Royce Keys look like a monster. He looked pretty evenly matched not that long ago. If they'd built Royce up a bit more, they could have had Oberverse, Royce Keys and stuff like that. But they don't have anyone like he was literally having to take on two people at once.
Yeah.
And then they've had to bring Brock out of retirement to do this. And it just feels.
Idea it like really quickly on that whole building Ober up storyline, and it's just gone back to oh well, we'll bring Brock out of retirement, but then how do we go forward?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think Brock should have been brought out of retirement. I don't think Ober should have. Like, they should have let him have his first year on the roster. Like,
Mhm.
und- even if it meant him beating someone like Gunther or Roman, like I would have personally preferred that, and just let him go on an absolute run like of madness, and then have your next massive babyface come and take it off him.
It would have been nice to see that build up of a beast, and now it feels like that. It almost feels like it can't be done now. Like it feels like they had that point going, and now it's just like, well, they've fucked it.
Well, to give you an idea, and I just wanted to say what's next for Obafemi, I can tell you what's next because they've just released the brackets for the King of the Ring tournament that's coming out, and it's going to be Obafemi against Penta in round one. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
And so
good.
that. So we're going to have, I'll read them out quickly. Penta and Obafemi. The winner of that match takes on the winner of Solo Sikoa and Carmelo Hayes. We've also got, I don't envy Dominic Mysterio here. Dominic Mysterio will face Braun Breaker in one of that. And that's on the Raw side. On the SmackDown side, the winner of that will take on the winner out of Trick Williams and Damian Priest.
Mhm.
Then what a match. And I think this is tomorrow night on Raw, by the way. Jevon Evans will go one-on-one with Seth Rollins in the first round of the King of the Ring, the men's side. Tama Tonga will face Ricky Saints, that we've just spoken about very, very briefly there. And then the last bit on this is your boy Royce Keys. You just mentioned him. He's got an interesting one on the first night. He's got Finn Balor
Oh,
in the first.
oh,
And Jay Uso, maybe unsurprisingly, considering the situation, he's got LA Knight.
okay.
That could be a botch fest, really, couldn't it?
Yeah.
With those two.
Although something I noticed on Raw, the way they presented LA Knight seemed different. Like the camera angle when he came out, his music
Mhm.
was a hell of a lot louder than normal. So I don't know if they're going to give him a push because it did feel like they presented him better. And I don't think his promo was that bad with Jimmy either.
No, it was pretty good.
As
Just
long as
that
he
was
doesn't do too many moves, he's fine.
as long as LA Knight doesn't try and jump to the top rope or a 619, we might be all right. Just out of interest, Liv Morgan has also entered the Queen of the Ring, which means if she wins it, she'll go to SummerSlam to face herself. Which would be it'd be an interesting one. But just quickly, David, just touching one more time on Brock and Oba. They're probably going to go to the Night of Champions is the next one in Saudi Arabia. I don't think Obafembi will probably get to them, and that's where the finals I think are, because the winners of the King of the Ring go to SummerSlam to face the world champion. So my thing is, does Obafembi get to the final of King of the Ring? Brock then costs him the King of the Ring, and then we maybe go to SummerSlam for the rubber match where if
Yeah.
Oba beats him, Brock does retire. Does that maybe go?
That sounds about right. But again, the first retirement was, I think it was so much nicer because no one expected it. Everyone
Yeah,
was waiting for Gunther to retire him. And like me and Will said, like, oh, that's perfect. Even though it was a short match, I thought it made Oba look like a monster. Brock retired. It was all good. And if he retires again, it's just gonna be like, I don't know. It's not gonna be the same for me
no,
personally. And I know they made him look powerful where he took seven F5s, went through the table,
yeah,
got up and everything, but I don't know. I don't. This is the problem I have with WWE at the moment, and the thing I loved the most about AAA last night. You didn't have Ludwig versus Chad Gable continuously all the time. They just built it
no.
up nicely and had one massive blow off match. Whereas in WWE, you get the same matches like week in, week out. We've now had Jacob and Roman backlash, and then today. There's like Seth is going to fight Braun again. I think they were saying like you've got so many repeats, and it feels like they release all these people, and then they don't have enough people on the roster to actually make it varied.
Yeah, definitely. So, Will, do you see that happening? Do we go to SummerSlam? Do you think with Brock and
I mean,
Oba?
at the moment, it seems like the only viable option to make it, worth the storyline. I don't see what else they'd do. I don't see who else they could sort of bring in anyone's position to make him look that good. Do you know what I mean? I think like they have great matches, like, but it's just like David said, I think he should have just stayed retired down then, and he should have just gone on that whole run of just beating everyone and anyone through his path. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it ends up.
Yeah, we certainly will. Right. Before we get to the next women's match, I'll give you the women's brackets for the Queen of the Ring because this is going to be interesting to see, who ends up facing the women's champion. I mentioned Liv Morgan has entered it. She's got Becky Lynch in round one. Uh,
Okay.
so, and then that bracket is also finalised by Alexa Bliss against Chelsea Green.
I'll see it.
So
Oh,
that one.
that'd be cool.
Now, this is going to be the interesting one because you mentioned Sol Ruka, and we're going to get to her in a minute. And we're saying about, maybe who she's working with. Well, she's got Lyra Valkyria in the
Ooh,
first of that one,
Okay.
and we mentioned Jade Cargill. She is going to go against Charlotte Flair in the first round, which is an interesting first round pick. I will say that. The bracket that I'm really looking forward to is probably this one as a four. Roxanne Perez faces Io Sky in round one, which should be
Right.
a brilliant one. And Julia, who they brought her over to Italy for absolutely no reason whatsoever. She's got Lash Legend in round one, who's been
ah,
quite impressive.
Okay.
So that would be interesting. Trick Williams is better half or other half, depending on the way you look at it. That'd be an interesting one. And then the final brackets will be is Bailey against Raquel Rodriguez, and the winner of that will face the winner of JC Jane and Kiana James, who's that rounds off the women's.
Cool.
So before we get to that women's match, we're going to talk about David. Who's your pick for the women's Queen of the Ring?
Uh Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Lyra. I think she's really good. I genuinely think she's going to be like the next Becky Lynch, pretty much,
Mhm.
where she's like the equivalent of AJ, where she's going to go have great matches with most people. I'm hoping her and Soul knock it out the park, is what I'm hoping. Like they've got potential to have an absolutely incredible match. I hope that's what happens. If not her, then I don't know, probably Roxanne.
Yeah, Roxanne's a good one. Will, that's a point I was just about to make. Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, because they've been teasing it a little bit on Raw. Could that be something if we go for SummerSlam?
that'd be a great match. To be fair, I think that'd be a really good match to see that sort of break up and actually. I'd like to see Roxanne win that. I'd love to see Roxanne win that. I really would. I think she's great at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Roxanne and Lyra are good shouts. To be fair, I was going to say Bailey, if anyone.
Bailey would any of them would be cool. I think
Yeah.
Raquel would be great.
Yeah,
We want to see Raquel like
I like them four, to be fair. So Raquel would be a good one. I felt like she was having her push at, like, a couple of months ago. And it sort of just died off, but I think Raquel's great.
Yeah, I do. I think that'd be
I
interesting.
don't think Charlotte needs it. I don't think
No,
Charlotte needs it. I don't think Alexa needs it.
no.
No.
EO doesn't. EO's proved herself more than
Mhm.
Yeah.
enough. It'd be nice to see someone who hasn't had all those accolades get it. Would be
Yeah,
nice.
definitely
Do you
right.
I don't know if you remember, there's this thing they done on Raw a little while back, and well, not a little while back, it's quite a few years ago now. Jesse Ventura was the guest host of Raw,
Mhm.
and it wasn't him that done the match, but it was him that announced that basically, uh, who they would put an opportunity together for anyone who's never won the world championship. They had this match, and the winner would face John Cena. And that winner was actually Sheamus, and Sheamus went to and actually beat John Cena at the pay-per-view. But it was a great thing like that. And I thought for Money in the Bank, wouldn't it be great to have people that have either never won it or never been in it to
That
get
would
the
be,
opportunity?
yeah, I think that would be great. I really, because I always love it when you've got a challenger that has not had the belt yet. I always get more hyped up for someone because I'd love to see them get there first.
Mhm.
So I would always love to see a tournament where it's someone who's never had the chance to be in the main event, never had the chance to hold the belt, something like that. That'd be cool. And especially Money in the Bank, that'd be really cool. Even if it's like they haven't had it for like the last 5 years or something, just to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like we get the same champions over and over again.
Over and over. It's always the same.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would think it'd be great to do that if they'd done it again. But anyway, let's get to match. Sol Ruka, Sol Ruka, yeah, Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. David, I like this again. The women definitely had the best matches on the show tonight. I agree. Sol was still a little bit clunky, but she did pick up the victory. There was a little bit. Jessica Carr's been training to be a wrestler. I have this feeling that we're leading towards Jessica
Yeah.
Carr, Becky Lynch somewhere down the line.
I hope so. I really hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah, definitely so. The match itself, though, do you think it was probably Sol Ruka's better match on the main roster at the minute?
Uh, Possibly. Yeah, I think, like I said to you before we started recording, I think since she did that one botch on Raw, because
Yeah,
it's like even how we talk about LA Knight and stuff, as soon as someone botches,
yeah,
everyone online is just giving them shit left, right, and center. So she's probably in her own head and she's probably a bit more reserved with stuff to try and make sure she's not doing it again.
hmm,
Uh, it's still there are times where it definitely feels like she's hesitating a bit more. But then I also remember when Penta first came up and he did a move off the rope and slipped, and they said like if you haven't practiced on those ropes, they're a lot different to what you're used to. So it could be that she's getting used to how the rings are on the main roster. They might be slightly different. There's so many, it's a much bigger crowd. There's more pressure.
Mhm.
Um, I'm hoping that she just gets more and more confidence and then can have some really great matches. Because on NXT, we thought she was great. We thought she was really, really good. But the match with Becky was probably either that or the EO one, for me, are about the same. I just would have liked to see it a bit more fluid, honestly.
yeah. Will, do you think with this one now Sol's won the in women's Intercontinental, and I don't want to keep comparison to AEW, but would you like her maybe to do something like what Darby Allin was doing and doing these open challenges, not necessarily open challenges, but defending the title or at least wrestling week in week out because it does feel like I don't know, it just feels like you need to start again when you come up from the main roster. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I feel like that would help her as well. I think if she has those sort of weekly defenses, it will. I truly believe it's the confidence thing at the moment. Like if you watch her matches since she's been on the main roster, the first 5 to 10 minutes are a bit iffy, but once she's into it, she's fine and she can wrestle great and she shows that she should be there. But I think it's just a massive confidence issue of her at the moment because you didn't see really any of that in the NXT. Like she was great in NXT, really, really good. And to see how she's been now, I think she needs a good, solid, 4 or 5 matches with this belt just to get that confidence boost. I mean, hopefully having the belt now will give her a bit more of a boost anyway. But yeah, I think something needs to happen with it.
Yeah, pretty soon. Well, hopefully it will. Anyway, that's for sure. But yeah, more ring action would definitely help out. I think that's definitely one thing.
Well, it's
But
like Ilya. Ilya came back and he did the weekly thing. That was our favorite bit. Was
Yeah,
literally Ilya's open challenge.
yeah, that was really good, and the matches he had was really good as well.
they were all so
On that,
entertaining.
where is he anyway?
I was
Ilya,
saying this literally the other day. Where was Ilya gone?
Uh,
yes, he's on. They've given his spots to Danhausen. That's what it is.
oh, I love Dan House.
Yeah.
So do I. So do I. And Will looks brilliant when he's got the paint on.
How do you know I'm
Uh,
not?
Saying, as you know, he's not. Yeah. By the way, I think who Danhausen's making is Baron Corbin. By the way.
I'd hope so. I
Yeah,
hope.
I think
right.
that's what I've been that's what the rumors have been announced anyway. That it may well be Baron. Just a quick one on NXT. While I've got you both, Enzo Amore apparently coming back to NXT.
So Will missed out on the whole Enzo. I love them.
Ah,
Oh no.
mate, you have missed out on an absolute.
I've been sending him the one where they didn't have microphones and the crowd were doing their whole speech. I don't know. Is it meant to be both of them? Is it him and Big Cass, or is it just him?
So at the moment, he's because he was at the Performance Center for the last couple of weeks. So it's him at the moment, but Cass's contract I think is due up imminently with AEW. So I think they may even start with Enzo, and maybe he starts getting double teamed, and it's like who's going to partner Enzo? Nobody likes you. Boom. Here comes Big Cass. That's how they may do it, but no, nothing from Big Cass yet. Anyway,
Okay. It'd be
Enzo.
good because I feel like the tag team division is just ruined right now.
Yeah. I mean, they want to revamp the tag team division. Oh, that's an idea. Let's release the Motor City Machine Guns and
New Day.
yeah, the New Day. Let's release the two tag teams that we got, but we want to build the tag team division up again. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Tribal Combat main event that we had. This was always going to be a car crash, not necessarily in a bad way. Will, this was exactly what it says on the tin. Will, I do laugh though. Did you see the spot where Fatu got put through the barricade and you had the security?
He missed it. He missed it. His Wi-Fi went down.
My Wi-Fi was going in and out. I was catching clips of it, but as he come through the barricade, I did catch that bit, and I just watched the security sort of rolling round to the side, which I thought was amazing.
It looked like he didn't have a clue it was happening. That was the problem. Like one of them was dead, and the other one's like literally looks like he's in a lot of pain because I think he actually got the brunt of it. The one I think was on to the left of the picture. Obviously it went everywhere though. Will, I don't think there was any surprise that Roman was going to walk out of this the champion. He was never going to lose. He's here until at least SummerSlam. So we probably will expect the winner of King of the Ring to perhaps dethrone him, or do you think that will go on for Cody and we may get an Obafemi maybe if Gunther's retiring Brock?
It's always with Roman. I feel like he could just go on holding that title for quite a long time because it's Roman, isn't it? I didn't think he'd lose tonight. No way. It's been too soon since he's regained the belt again. But I know I'll hold my. I'm not the biggest of Roman fans. Like I would have loved to see Jacob take the belt.
Yeah.
From, seeing what sort of a difference that can make. But I don't know. I just can't give an answer because I think personally he'll go on to have it for the rest of the year because they just love Roman to have the belt, don't they? And he's got such a strong fan base, hasn't he?
Yeah, they do. But David, at the same time, is it also kind of thing like rinse and repeat? Because when the whole bloodline thing was going on, we was on this channel, not necessarily we, but my co-host and that were on this channel. We were saying that we don't think the WWE have plans for when the bloodline, when Roman was to eventually lose the championship the first time, and they didn't have nowhere to go. So is it a case of they're just sitting there going, we don't really know what we're doing, so we're just going to go back to what worked previously?
I, the thing is, I remember when it first started last time, and I was getting pissed off that every pay-per-view Roman was winning. And then I remember me and my wife in the hospital when she'd just given birth to my daughter, and it was when I can't remember if it was Jay or Jimmy, but it's when they turned on Roman and kicked him in the face. Or it might have been when they kicked him in the face together and we lost our shit. And last time it was like I hated the build up, and then you got halfway through it and it was like, oh, you know what? This has actually turned out pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Like when Sammy was involved, all the storyline with that, like there's potential for them to do it really well.
Hmm.
Um, So it's hard to say because I really did hate it last time, and then it was actually quite an entertaining storyline, and it did actually get me properly back into it. Because at the start, everyone was hating it, and I
Yeah.
think there again, and people were like, "Oh, he's going to win again. He's going to do this again." If they can add some more moving parts to it, maybe LA Knight. Um, I don't know. Like I said, they got potential. It's just if they even bother looking at long-term storybooking anymore, because it's so hard to tell. Like what happened with Kofi and Javon? Like things like that now. It's just like they start something and then it all just goes. Alistair for the whole of the build up to Mania. Things like that. Just
Well, if you go back, Killer Croc, Karrion Cross put the timer in the ring for Roman Reigns at one point. Then he got released, come back and got released again. And
yep.
it's like I felt that there was something there. Because when he done that, even I went, oh shit, this is someone that could actually do something with it. And of course, it got well put to bed, didn't it? Because he got released and wasted his time in AEW for 6 months or wherever he were, however he went in there. Because he never done anything when he was there either. And that goes to my point though. And just a quick one on this, Will. We talk about the Aleister Blacks and we talk about the Rusevs and people like that that have been both sides of the fence, and it hasn't worked. Where do you kind of like look at this? Because like you look at Karrion Cross now, he's doing great MLW. They're doing some really good stuff with him. Do you now have to start looking, Will, at the fact that maybe Malachi Black or Ali, whatever names they go by, maybe he should look at the TNAs and the MLWs, especially if it hasn't worked in WWE and AEW.
I think he should, yeah. Like, I loved Alistair. I liked him in the main roster and thought he was great below as well. But I've read a lot of stuff recently where I don't know if it's his attitude or, what's going on with him, but he just doesn't seem to really settle, even in the locker room, in these
Yeah.
areas at the moment. So I think maybe, yeah, try something in New Japan or TNA, something just to, see where you're fitting in. But I don't know. Like I love Alistair, so it's hard for me on that one.
I
But
think a big problem with WWE though, they do not know how to use dark characters whatsoever.
no,
They
Yeah.
have no idea how to like the how Uncle Howdy, the White Six. Like the fact they got rid of them was mind blowing to me because that was like the last part of Bray that was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And they did nothing with them, put them in like a 7 month feud with Solo and then got rid of them. And
And Harper Solo's team while you're at it as well.
well, yeah, yeah. But I don't know, they don't dark characters they don't do well with at all. They don't seem to know how to book them. Like because you look Carrion, Alistair, Wyatt Six, Bray got released at one point,
Yeah.
and I do think Alistair like had the potential to have banging matches with like Johnny Gargano. He's had great matches with him.
yep.
Ilya, he would have had absolute bangers with. They just don't put anyone that's that brutal on TV.
Mhm.
It's
It's a
like
bit
very
like it's a
friendly
bit
now.
like AEW and the big man. Tony doesn't seem to know how to book the big guy in AEW, and that's why like the Royce Keys and Wardlow who disappears he comes back for 3 weeks and then he's disappeared off, and
I haven't actually seen him yet.
the Wardlow. Oh, he was great. He was great, but I mean he was doing American Gladiators, and I know they're doing another series of that, so he's away again. But and even the big women, like they've only just got Megan Bain right, really, with Lena Cross, and they got Camille on there. I mean, she was gone and come back and has gone again. Again, someone that's got such a there's so much you can do with those talents, but it seems if WWE doesn't know how to book the dark characters and AEW doesn't know how to book the bigger characters, it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've got to get that branding. But look, that was Clash in Italy. We're done on Clash in Italy. That's that one. That's another pay-per-view ticked off. The next one, I think WWE is in Saudi. Is going to be the Night of Champions, which will have that King of the Ring, the finals of the King of the Ring, because they're going to start tonight on Raw. We still get it over here at a nice time at the moment because they're doing the tours, so it's going to be a nice 7 p.m. for us to watch Raws and SmackDowns for the next few weeks, which is lovely. But guys, before we go, look, you've got we're talking off air. Your new Volume 4 is out, but people may not be
Yes.
able to find it. Do you want to talk to us about that
Yeah.
quickly?
So for some reason, this release, Spotify decided to put it under a new artist profile that is David Bartolome and Will Scarr, whereas before it had David Bartolome as one separate thing and Will Scarr, and it would just put us together and say David Bartolome and Will Scarr. So trying to fix that. It did come out on Friday, but no one's gonna be able to find it. I couldn't find it. Will couldn't find it. But yeah, there are 8 songs on there. We've got features where there's a 12-year-old drummer on one of them who absolutely killed it, wrote his own parts. He was phenomenal. We've got our friend Drew Jackson, who's a rapper. He features on 2. We've got Raiders, who features on the Dominic Mysterio one. We've got my wife, who features on 1. So yeah, they're all still short songs, but there's 8 of them on that volume 4. Hopefully, we can get it sorted so people can actually find it.
Oh yeah. I think I just had, did I have it and it disappeared? Maybe. Yeah, it might have done. But Will, also I saw an announcement as well. I found it. I've got it. If we wrote the theme, volume 4,
Hey,
here it
there you
is. I will put what I'll do is I'll see if I can find the link, the link, and I'll put it in the description. Zarya, Solruka, Dom Mysterio, Mr. Iguana, The Vision, Shota Hill, Dragon Lee, and the Boogeyman. Oh,
Hmm.
all in that. But you've teamed up with a former NXT superstar as well, Will.
Yes, we have old Big Body Javi. We are currently in a band called Shattered by Hope, and we release our first single this Monday coming, and it's called Fool. But yes, we're seeing what and where the adventure goes with that. But it's looking good at the moment. It's looking good. It's looking promising.
Good, 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 guys. With us, you can look at our latest TNA review of Elena Black, which seems to have picked up some coverage online for some unknown reason. There's nothing in there that would call controversial at all, but it has picked up some traction online. Facebook is now 1.5 million views. I don't know what you're watching on our Facebook, but please carry on. I mean, I'm not moaning about it. It's a great thing. It's just crazy how I'll be totally honest. Since WrestleMania. Like we before Facebook, because we were just posting stuff that we were putting out, and I've just added some additional clips on some old school wrestling clips go on there. And since WrestleMania weekend, so we only had like a measly 500 followers before WrestleMania. We nearly got 5,000 now since WrestleMania. So that's a massive leap. 1.5 million views, which is crazy. Not as good as your 15, 16 million downloads, but we're getting there, right? We're building this thing, okay?
Like that's quite a few of them come from just luck for us. I mean, finding doing all these interviews and stuff. Ours is like purely luck.
But yeah, we've got that, and obviously, look, we made an announcement last week as well. We're partnering with Body Slam. We're going to be doing some weekly content on there. Now, what I will say is it's going to be variety. You're not going to know what it is. It's not going to be the same stuff. Don't want to pigeonhole it. I want to make it different for the Body Slam viewers. It will be exclusive to Body Slam though, so it will not be something that you will find over on my the Hitting the Turnbuckle channel. So it could be that I bring David and Will on for another collaboration, but it will be a Body Slam exclusive. They've got more followers. They can get you out there and portray you in a bigger way. So that it would be better for me to, well, be better for both of us to do that as well, because it gives your names out there a bit more. So we'll definitely sort that out. Potentially another big news this week as well. I can't say anything just yet because obviously we're not there yet. But it could be something that's going to catapult it even further forward, which would be exciting. But guys, quickly before we go, where can people find you on socials? Where they should know already, but where can they find you?
I'll let Will do it this time because I thought I had it. I don't. I don't.
So on Instagram, it is David Bartolome and it is Will Scarr with 3 R's on Instagram. Our YouTube is David and Will Themes, and you can also find us on Twitter as well at David and Will Themes.
Oh,
And
on
Facebook.
Facebook. Facebook.
Yeah,
That's Will and David themes.
yeah.
Yes, Facebook's reversed it, folks. But yes,
Any app and you will find us.
you will find it. Make sure you check them out. If you're a wrestler, you're a promoter, you're a referee, you ring the bloody bell at the start. If you have an entrance music, well, our ring announcer does it. Ignite, he's got his own entrance music. So, listen, if you want anyone out there, just reach out to David Bartolome, reach out to Will Scar. Quick turnaround, they'll get it done. You just give them what you're looking for, they'll make something up. They've done our intro. I've just got to try and get a video to put it all together. I'm working on it, where we're going to use the stuff that you gave brilliantly for us to get it on there. But make sure you do that. Last plug for me before we go: Ignite Wrestling, July 12th, Battle Lines. There is a reason it's called Battle Lines. We'll get there in a minute. The Turnbuckle Championship match, my championship, or should I say Chris Aries' championship, will be defended. He goes one-on-one with Scotty Rourke. We have the return of to Brit Rest and to Ignite Wrestling of Spike Trevay, the last man to beat Tommy Tanner fresh off his WWE tryout. Well, Spike's back, and this time Tommy Tanner has the gold, which means only one thing: Spike Trevay wants the Ignite Championship. Will he get it? Find out on July 12th. But the biggest news that's come out of the last Ignite show is the coming out of retirement of our general manager, CJ Carter. Yes, he will be teaming with two partners of his choosing to go against the Rebellion, Taylor James, Tom Mercer, and Ryan Curran. Should the Rebellion win, Taylor James gets his rematch at the World Heavyweight Championship. But when Chris, CJ Carter's team win, we say, as Jim Cornette would say, thank you, fuck you, bye to the Rebellion, and we will never see them in Ignite again. Tickets 96.ignite.eventbrite, 80% already gone. July 12th, Battle Lines. Gentlemen, it was great as always to speak with you guys. We'll definitely get you on again. I could have you on every week if you were free and would do it. It would be amazing. Keep fighting that good fight. Keep getting those downloads. And everybody, the link to If We Wrote the Theme 4 is on the YouTube description to this very review show. Get it. Listen to their music. It is fantastic. I know they launch it online. You've done the Royal Rumble stuff, which was great. They put it out there, but make sure you watch it, guys, honestly, and follow them everywhere. And as I said, if you're a wrestler, reach out to them, get your new theme done. Gentlemen, fantastic as always. We'll see you guys soon. But you guys have been watching the Clash in Italy review on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. And until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and good night.